This is in Sivira Hall at Makerere University. At the back of the hall, this wall is designed with protruding rocks that can easily be used as footholds to climb up to the window. The window is wide enough for someone to sit on comfortably. There are suspicions that this very setup may have been used to break into Bernard Impire's room, a second-year student at Makerere University 2 weeks ago, who is visually impaired. During the break-in, he lost several belongings, including a laptop that supports his studies and money meant for his daily upkeep. Impaired recalls that on the night before the theft, he closed his windows, arranged his room, and went to bed around 10 p.m. The next morning felt unusual. He woke up at about 8 a.m. and answered a phone call that lasted nearly 15 minutes, still unaware that anything was amiss. It was only after the call, as he began to feel around his room, that he sensed something was off. One side of the window was exactly as he had left it, firmly shut, but the other was wide open. Panic set in as he reached for his bag, where he had kept funds to support him during the semester. The chair previously carrying this bag was empty. His laptop was gone too. Items that had been around it were scattered across the floor, suggesting someone had gone through his belongings in a hurry before disappearing without a trace.
I had to call some of my friends and I told them what happened. They tried to check, they checked behind that window. They found when some of the things that were in the bag, which were not money, when we were left there by that person, maybe who took them, the IDs, the university IDs, the ATM and what, were left behind there. Even some of my clothing.
Interestingly, a braille machine used to read and write was left behind. Matters would have been more worrisome if it had been taken, as it belongs to a friend. The thugs did not leave behind his laptop, which is essential for Impire's studies. He says he reported the incident immediately. The hall custodian was equally puzzled. There were no clear signs of forced entry apart from the open window, no noise reported, and no witnesses. Impaired later reported the case to police. Although a file was opened, investigations are underway despite a severe shortage of evidence. As a visually impaired student, Impaired is entitled to a caretaker. However, Impaired's current caretaker is also a student who works a part-time job at night and only returns in the morning to escort him to class.
For this semester, I had some other part job which whereby at times I leave him, then I go and I accomplish it, most especially in the evening.
Impaired explains that finding a suitable caretaker is difficult, mainly because the role requires someone who is literate. He notes that individuals with such qualifications may not be willing to commit to a 24-hour role, especially if the pay is not sufficient. When asked about caretaker salaries, the dean declined to disclose the details, citing safety concerns.
I think it is not ethical to give you the figures for the safety, because we are here, this is about safety. For the safety of my students, I think I will not give you the figures.
NTV also inquired whether the university could compensate Impaired for his stolen property. The dean indicated that there may be a possibility of support through partnerships with well-wishers. Currently, Impaired is appealing to the public for financial assistance to replace his stolen laptop and to help cover his basic needs for the semester.
I was given around 530. I tried to use that money, because I told you that they took the 300, which means I'd used some of the money in buying food. And before this happened, I had already my food in my room, the rice and what. So I'm just surviving on that I had before. But now the question is, how am I going to survive as the semester continues, because it's just beginning.
Theft topped the list of crimes at Makerere University, with incidents targeting both students and staff, particularly involving laptops, mobile phones, and motorcycles.
The most rampant cases of insecurity are thefts. Those ones are rampant. Uh, there are so many people in the environment, bad elements. Sometimes they are bad, not at all times, because our security is tight. So occasionally we have such cases of insecurity.
A past report from Makerere University Police Post showed that between 2013 and 2016, 178 laptops were stolen. In the same period, 48 vehicles and 56 motorcycles were taken, with only a few ever recovered. LYDIA FELLY AULLU, NTV.